Wall Street breathes a sigh of relief. Trump dismisses threats to fire Powell and promises reduction in China. Tariffs. U.S. stock market saw significant gains on Wednesday following statements by President Donald Trump that eased tensions in the financial market. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 2.2%, while the S&P 500 advanced 2.7%, and the Nasdaq surged 3.5%, driven by expectations of reduced trade tariffs and confirmation that Trump does not intend to fire Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. On Tuesday, Trump stated that he had no intention of removing Powell, despite recent criticisms of the Fed chair. Previously, Trump had called Powell a big loser and suggested that his dismissal was imminent. The change in stance from the U.S. president helped restore investor confidence, which had been concerned about political interference in the country's monetary policy. Furthermore, Trump indicated that the 145% import tariffs on Chinese goods would be substantially reduced, although not completely eliminated. This signal generated optimism in the market, especially among technology companies that rely on the Chinese supply chain, such as Apple, Nvidia, and Tesla. Shares in these companies saw significant gains in pre-market trading. The easing of trade tensions also contributed to the appreciation of the US dollar, which rose more than 1% against the Japanese yen and Swiss franc. However, the US labor market continues to show signs of slowdown, with business activity dropping to its lowest level in 16 months, reflecting ongoing economic uncertainties. Meanwhile, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and White House Press Secretary Leavitt reinforced the outlook that trade agreements with China are underway, and that trade tensions are expected to ease in the coming months. In the corporate sector, Tesla shares rose 5.6% after CEO Elon Musk announced he would significantly reduce his involvement in government initiatives, such as the Department of Government Efficiency, to focus more on the company. This decision aims to alleviate concerns about Musk's divided attention between his various roles. Although the outlook appears more favorable for investors, analysts warn that market volatility may persist depending on future actions by the U.S. government and the progress of trade negotiations with China.